craft, these interplanetary, most extraordinary craft, they have a bubble around them so that they will not interfere, they will not cause any unwanted ripples in the fabric of space-time, so that they will not influence things in a way that they would not like. So there's a reason why they're flying in these grid formations in the sky. They, just like we, have a mind, and there is something that there are favorable future timelines and there are unfavorable future timelines for them, and just same for us. There are favorable future timelines and more unfavorable future timelines based on the causal flow of causal mechanics. So there is a space that is now opened up, that is between us and them. We are part of it. We are a part of it. They are a part of it. It's a null point, a zone between us and them, where our two singularities are converging, because there is so much gravity that our consciousness is falling into, their consciousness is falling into. Why? Because we want that future timeline, and they want that future timeline. But just like we and they are working towards this future timeline, there are others who are working towards other future timelines. There are other interests on the earth who are working with other extraterrestrials whose opinions are at odds, or whose favorable timeline is at odds. However, here in New Zealand, we are managing to stabilize a timeline which is congruent with us, because there are a lot of people here in New Zealand who are congruent with a timeline in which there is kind of economic exchange between people in New Zealand and these extraterrestrials, and that will lead to an economic growth for them, for us. Again, the space that's opening us between us, that has this potential for, economic growth, spiritual growth, artistic growth, so much different growth, and this is why it's accelerating. And so they will likely continue in their current mode of operation, which is having this kind of this barrier, this bubble, this window around their craft, which is energized around their craft. And we've got to be a little bit careful, because they likely do not intend us any harm, at least the ones that my friend and I, we are sort of working with here in New Zealand. However, we just need to understand the technology involved here, the nature of the energies involved. They have their craft has a certain mass, has a certain density, just like an airplane or a car or truck or a submarine or whatever. A spaceship also has a certain density, a certain mass, and so to be able to move a mass around, you need a certain amount of energy. To move a helicopter around, you need a certain amount of energy that's going to ripple off into other energies. The air is going to disturb the environment. With a rocket, the rocket propulsion, the thrust is going to disturb the environment. And with these craft that are having this very quite advanced space-time bubble, where they can come here and they are able to basically open up a space in space-time where our timeline and where our desired timeline, a timeline which is desired by many peoples in our brainwaves are syncing with that, and a timeline which their brainwaves are syncing with, and these two frequencies are gradually coming into phase, so that this realm of potential possibilities can be stabilized. And to do that, it requires a lot of energy. So there's a lot of energy coming off these craft. So just please, try not to get too close to them. But generally, they don't mean any harm. But it's just because there's so much energy involved, and you can see if they come near the ground and land on the ground, there's going to be a burnt patch of grass. So it seems that they can't quite turn off their shields yet and come into this and fully phase into this timeline yet. We just need to stabilize it fully. Then they'll be able to turn off their shields, and you'll be able to see very clearly the shape of the spaceship, which looks a little bit cooler than just a black dot or a orb or a whatever the silhouette of that extra dimensional craft, which is just making a silhouette of a semi-dimensional, semi-phase in phase thing that we can see, but we can't see the actual size of the craft. We can't quite interact with it yet. So there's just this bubble around them.